Okay, so second hour, yesterday we started creating a Scratch file called Fish Game. So you'll want to open that. If for some reason you weren't here or weren't doing what you're supposed to be doing and you don't have this started, just go ahead and pause this video now and get this set up. You need a new file in Scratch called Fish Game. You need 2 sprites. This shark's going to make sense because we want him to be able to open his mouth. So you can use this shark and then whatever fish you want to use. He's going to be chasing after the fish and getting points when he catches the fish. So I'm going to make my shark a little bit bigger. I'm going to hit the grow button here, make him a little bit bigger. And I'm going to make my fish a little bit smaller. Excuse me. That's just personal preference. And as we are working today, we're going to just keep him on the costume Shark B, where he has his mouth open. Okay, we've already, excuse me, talked about how if you want him to look like he is opening and closing his mouth, that you would shift between costumes like this. Okay, just for simplicity's sake, we're going to leave it at an open mouth. You need when green flag pulled over. Okay, so as soon as you get caught up to here, then we're ready to talk about scoring and how to set up the rest of this little program. All right, so whenever you create a program that needs to keep score, we use something called a variable. Okay, and in computer science, a variable allows you to hold on to or keep track of or store a number or a value. So we're going to come down here on scripts and choose data. Make a variable. We're going to call it score, and then notice here that it can be for all sprites or for this sprite only. We're going to make it for all sprites and then hit OK. Now you will see under the data section that you now have score as an option. There's a check mark next to it, and then there are now blocks that have score as a variable. Notice on your stage that you now have score displayed, and this is where the score will show as the game is playing. Okay. So to start off with, we're going to set the score to 0, because that's normally how it works when you start a game. Nobody has any points. And then we're going to need, from the control section, we're going to need a forever block. And then I'm going to have you pull a few things from the motion section. And what we're going to do is we're going to have a turn to the right block, and it'll say 15 degrees. We're just going to grab that, and then we're going to adjust it a little bit. What we want to happen is we want our shark to just kind of randomly move around the stage trying to catch the fish. So I'm going to take this 15 out, and instead of having 15, I'm going to come down here to operators, and I'm going to choose pick random. And it says 1 to 10, but we're going to adjust that in just a second. So we're going to drop this right in here, and you'll see it's nesting in. It kind of glowed before I let go of it. And this 1 we are going to change to -30, and the 10 we're going to change to +30. Okay, so your shark is going to be turning to the right between -30 degrees and +30 degrees. Then we're going to have him move a little bit. So we'll go back to motion. We're going to have him move 5 steps. And then now we need to program the part where if he actually catches the fish, a score changes, it makes a sound, and then he moves around some more. So we're going to come down here to the control section, and you're going to choose if then. And we use these a lot in computer programming. If then, it's if something happens, if a condition exists, then we want something to happen after that. So if we are touching, and you're going to use the down arrow here, notice that the second sprite that I have is Fish 2. Okay, see the name of it's right here. And I'm going to go Fish 2. So if my shark is touching Fish 2, then I'm going to change the score by 1. Okay, so he's going to get a point. I'm also going to make a sound that is like a little chomping sound. So in order to get that sound, when you go to the sound section, you'll see that there's pop right there. What we want to do is go to sounds, and we're going to find a new sound. Okay. So if you are working on this today and you have headphones or earbuds, please use them because the sounds get really loud and obnoxious. So we're going to hit Sound from Library, and the one we want is Chomp. And we're going to hit OK. And you'll notice that here on this Sound tab, we now have a new sound, Chomp. We're going to get rid of Pop because we're not going to use that for this program. Then we'll pull back to Scripts, and you will see that it now says Play Sound Chomp. If I had more than one sound downloaded or inserted on that tab, it would show up here. And then notice you can also record your own sounds. So you're going to grab this. I'll drop in right there. Actually, whoops. Let me get rid of this guy. I actually want you to do something different. I want you to play sound until done. Okay, so it should be this one. Play sound chomp until done. And then motion is going to be move -100 steps. Okay, so what this does is once we hit the green flag, you're going to see that your shark just moves around randomly, trying to bump into or catch the fish. If it does touch the fish, then the score is going to increase by 1. It's going to play the chomp sound, and then he's going to move around some more. So let's see if it works. Got a point. Okay. Got a point. All right, there we go. So notice we did get 5 points. Okay, the variable was working. Whenever he touched the fish, we got a point. Okay. All right, so make sure that you hit File, Save Now in Scratch so that this program is saved. And then what I'm going to have you do now is start working on some other exercises. So if you would please watch the second video now. I will check your fish game when I come back on Friday. Make sure that you have that completed and ready to go for a grade check.